A voice for those who want to be heard, but seem to always get overlooked, who are hiding in the shadows, but want to step into the light. Sounds that resonate with all frequencies, that need to be heard, but are often gone, overlooked. Divine Time is a podcast that covers everything to elevate those who are hiding in the shadows, to help those who want to be seen, who need to be heard, but feel that there's always something holding them back from getting their voice out. We've got comedy, we have insightfulness, we have the truth, and we know how important the truth is these days. Stay tuned for an episode of Divine Time.
All right. So life's test from the universe. I got Sin, Rio, Westside, and Walter. And pretty much the main things that I want to talk about is how the universe sends us tests repeatedly, trying to get us to master these tests. And when you fail, it seems like when the test comes around again, the consequences are greater.
Well, tests are going to come all the time. No matter what we do, no matter what we face, no matter how we do it or go about it, they always going to come. Question is how you deal with it when it comes. In this case, could be interesting. It could be evil. It could be fun. But at the same time, what is going to be your gratification from it? That'll be your ending result.
True.
And let us remember that sometimes tests, we're conditioned to think that tests are automatically something that you should pass. Some of these things you're going to fail straight up. And that's by design. It's kind of like I don't know if anybody is a Star Trek fan, but Kobayashi Maru. Some of these tests are very impossible. So there is not going to be a good outcome, regardless of how differently you did each one of those tests. It's going to end in failure, and you got to be okay with that. It is the learning experience, because some of them are impossible.
Why must it be looked at as a failure instead of where you rank?
That
Not
part
every
too.
test is to see if you pass or fail. It's just to see where you rank at right now.
This is true.
Like sometimes you might not be ready for a blessing that was about to head your way, and that test is to see if you're ready for that.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
But what if
Agree with all of that.
But what if it's not a test? What if it's something that you asked the universe for or told the universe to do, and you just don't know how it's going to happen? Maybe it's not a test at all. Maybe it's the beginning steps of how you're trying to work with the universe to get to the point that you want to get to.
So that's a journey.
There you go.
It's something like
Aren't there always tests in the journey?
Exactly. But that's what we don't wager on. The reason why is because we were not prepped to even know that the universe was on our side. We're prepped to know that there's a higher power, and if we do right or wrong, there's a consequence. So even if it's a journey, we're looking at it as a consequence or something that's going wrong, but it actually isn't. It's you navigating like you said you would through the universe, but you don't see it that way. You see it as this is a punishment, something's going wrong. It's you saying this is what I want from it, and then
or turn it down.
The universe does its job.
They can't hear it.
Whether we follow through or not, the universe is going to do what
Can
it
you hear it now?
because we told them to do it.
Can we hear it now?
There's only the Italian.
Let's see. Can you hear? You say the sign.
Oh, that's fine.
All right, sorry. We got that cleared up. So yeah, I mean, I can definitely see it being a journey. Trying to see if you're ready to receive what's supposed to come your way next. And I mean, isn't that kind of why these things kind of get put in front of us to really see, to teach you these lessons? Because like they say, everyone who enters your life is a lesson or a blessing, right?
Mhm.
Mm.
So it's a matter of, okay, what are you going to take from that to continue your journey to grow?
Yeah.
Because I know in my situation, I could have easily just been how I used to be and just go ahead and crack off and be hot-headed, but I would have played straight into the narrative and agenda that they want me to.
Yeah.
Therefore, no matter what I would have did or said after that, I would have already proved of pretty much the things, all the lies and everything that they were saying. I mean, I've dealt with this demon many times before in different flesh bags. So it's like, sorry, bodies. So, I mean, with it, it's just like, all right, cool. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over, hoping for a different result, right?
Yeah.
So when the tests, these tests, the lessons come your way, the only way to really show mastery is by doing something differently. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting the same result and wondering why your life's not progressing the way that you want it to.
Or maybe it is, and you just don't want to take the bumps and bruises.
That part.
Yeah.
I mean, it could almost be like what they used to say back in the day. It's like they used to say, "Be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you pray for.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes, so you're gonna be ready for it."
That's
You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's like the same thing with a test. A test may come not to test you, not to see if you pass or fail. A test may come to see if you're ready for this kind of shit to be back in your face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to do
It
different
ain't
things?
even about if you can pass it or not. It's if you are going to fall in the same role you was in, or are you going to move past it, or are you totally over to where you can see it, stand at it, look at it, and just not be fazed by it at all.
Yeah. I agree. Like with the topic we was talking about earlier in the chat, like how you be like you want to start your podcast again. It's gonna be people saying worse shit than they probably saying in your
Hell yeah.
comments. So like you gonna have to get that tough skin and that, you know what I tell you. Fuck 'em.
Yeah.
Like if they ain't putting positivity or no money in your pocket, bro, fuck 'em. Fuck them in their opinion. Your world is still gonna turn at the end of the day.
Facts.
Do what they eat make you shit,
For real.
or do what they drink make you pee. Real shit.
You know, real
I like
talk.
it. What they eat, does that make you shit?
Real
Real
talk.
talk.
You a straight old head. I love it, bro. I love it.
Real talk.
Makes sense though. That makes sense for real. That's deep too. I
Real
think
shit, man. You got to think about it. Like some people, we can speak of these two people per se in question. We can
quite a few of us
speak
in
of
here
them
have had interactions with them.
exactly. So we can speak of them and just say, one is driven by power
Yes.
and driven by the want and need to be wanted and needed.
Mm-hmm.
The other one can't break away from his master.
True.
I mean, I don't know how no other way to put it. But
There really
hey
isn't.
man, look, motherfuckers say fetch, motherfuckers say go. You know what I'm saying? It's just what I didn't see,
Yeah.
and it's put it like this. If you land somewhere first and you plant your flag, can you call it yours?
Yeah.
I mean,
You can
here,
stay
I
claim
planted
to
my
it, right?
flag there.
Right. You can
I
stay
just
claim
laid
to it, right?
claim to it.
here's the
Right.
thing. If I'm not mistaken, I think Cal Williams said it.
If I'm first, yeah.
He's like, these things have been discovered, but how can you discover something if things are already there? So I
Exactly.
should go out and discover a car.
Exactly. They're now you move into the area of persuasion. To coming in, nobody knows, but I come in guns a blazing. I'm telling you my whole sad story so I can get your whole heart to feel all sad and everything about my whole story. I'm going to build up a whole big old confidence and a big old story about everybody outside of me. And whenever you come in contact with any one of these people, because we're in this world, whenever it is a possibility that you come across these people, whenever you do, these are who they are. This is what they did to me. I'm a victim of them.
Yep.
You can say
Yeah.
what you want about me. I don't give a shit. And I can tell you the honest God truth. I didn't get no hard because I didn't like you. I can say that. that I wasn't turned on by you. So I can say that confidently, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
comfortably, you feel me? And have no issues with it, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you got to take all your, cause see, we can go back as far as a trail to where it says like, you got a trail of people, even before me, even before you, you know what I'm saying? That you have led astray, that you have led on, and then what you do? Exercise me, got them out of there. I asked you first off, is this gonna happen? Am I gonna get exercise? Am I gonna get kicked out? No, that ain't gonna happen. What happened? Get the fuck out.
Exactly that. When someone did not get their way.
Man.
So when
So
you see
do
that,
you
you know,
do
you
you
kind
feel
of,
like that was a test? Is that
hell
something
yeah,
you feel
it's
has
still a
happened to
test
you
now.
before in life? Was that a greater consequence that could have come from it?
I don't consider that a test. I consider it an awakening.
You hear me? That's a blessing.
Yep.
For real. That just shows you not who not to deal with.
And showed me what I wasn't going to do or deal with.
Yeah. Somebody talking, I don't really consider that a test. A test is something you really gonna have to sit there and like,
Go through it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But somebody just, popping their gums and shit like that, that ain't really no test
Oh
like that. People
man.
gonna say whatever.
And a lot of
I,
people
I
talk
like
in defense of everything that they do and have to hide.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that you said that right there was an awakening. Because I mean, ultimately, the reason why I don't really care about the situation that's happening now with these individuals from like 3 years ago is because the
Mm-hmm.
situation that me and my family have recently gone through, it really helps me create firm boundaries. And I know the stuff that I'm not going to tolerate, and I know the outcome of what can happen dealing with these certain things. And it just so happens that what's happening now is pretty much exactly like when it comes to the smear campaign, the slandering and everything, it's exactly the same. And I'm like, okay, I know how I can be an emotional speaker. That's just how I am. When I feel something, and you can really tell it from the way that I talk, which other people will be like, oh, that's anger or whatever. It's like, no, I'm just passionate
Yeah,
about
you passionate about what you saying.
exactly.
I
So the
feel
way
you.
that I know now, I'm like, I can't be like that because they're gonna try and take that and twist it into something else to make it seem like
Why?
I something.
Why you can't be like that?
When it comes to situations like this, I cannot
Why you can't?
because it's gonna fall, it's gonna make me out to be exactly what they're trying to say that I am.
So,
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 Yeah, you can't manage that.
so,
so
That's
why
management.
would you stop?
that was a collective
you
Why
so.
hear
would
me?
you stop
So,
Yeah.
being yourself to
Well, I'm
appease
not
someone
stop being
else?
myself. I'm not stop being myself. I'm still gonna be who I am. It's just the fact that I cannot be, my tone cannot be
Can I
that.
tell you something? Can I tell you something? The way you talk is a part of who you are.
Yes.
So, you changing up the way you talk to appease
I
somebody else,
have to balance it because if you're trying to portray me as this angry, crazy person, and then therefore when I do speak and I sound emotional and I'm louder than most, which I'm naturally a loud person in general, then now it makes it seem like, you know what, he really is this crazy, rather like.
But you can't manage that.
So wait, hold on,
Really
wait.
hold
manage
on.
who you are.
So
Hold on, hold on.
hold on, fam.
I
Hold on,
love
fam.
what he just. Go ahead, get him, get him, get him.
So let's take it back a step.
Yep.
Okay. Why do you feel the need to have to defend your character to people that have no worth in your life right now?
You can't manage
bingo.
And I'm not.
Oh yeah,
You just did.
you just
This is
did.
what you're telling us. And I'm
not.
not, and by, again, this is a
I will say
conversation.
this: the last situation that I had, I did. I tried to. At first it started off. I wasn't even defending myself. I was defending somebody else. Which then everything turned off on me because the other person already reached that point in their life where like I don't give a fuck. But now I'm the bad person for defending them. So therefore, then now all this is coming at me, so I feel I need to defend myself. Now to the situation that's going on now, I learned my lesson from the last one. I'm not saying anything. I'm like, whatever. I'm just gonna continue being myself, and people can see who I am. So therefore, now with that, I'm not playing into anything. I'm being who I am, rather than what y'all automatically have an image of me from these people who are doing what they're doing. So I
Hey
mean,
man,
I learned. I'm like, I'm not
hey man,
gonna fall into that.
just a homeboy to a homeboy, just a
Yeah.
partner to a partner, man. Fuck them people what they talking about, bruh. Fuck them
For
people what they
real,
think. Nigga.
bro.
Straight up, man.
No, I
Fuck them
mean,
people.
Honestly,
you gotta
Look.
clear,
I agree. I agree.
As long as you
clear the
live,
table.
Yeah.
And
people
just
are going
like
to have
everything,
an opinion about you. People are gonna feel a way about you, no matter
Yeah.
how you say it, no matter what you say, no matter how nice, how mean, how calm, and how quiet you say it. Trust me, bro. This is the last shit I've been
Yep.
going through for the last 2 months of my motherfucking job, bro. Look here. I'm
So
dead
For
serious. I'm
real.
dead ass serious. I'm dead ass serious. Like I
Yeah.
done had customers lied on me. Motherfucker, I done had a whole motherfucking section trying to get me out of there because they can't get what they want. And I won't kiss their ass. So if I say, give me 5 minutes, I got you. To them, that's rude. If I say, I don't have it out there. Did you see it out there?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't see it. I ain't got it. Give me a minute. I got it for you. That's rude. Because I said, other than yes, it's rude.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go to corporate and I find out that anything I say is rude, and then they bring up shit that I've said on my motherfucking social media.
Mm.
To where why do you feel like the job is a jail? Because it is. Y'all painted this bitch like a jail. Y'all got me in the back in the hole in like jail.
Mm-hmm.
I'm by myself serving time every day, like
When you say
jail.
that, I think
What
about
do
the
you
colors.
mean?
I'm like, you damn right, bro.
That's what I feel. And so I
Yeah.
can't say what because I know now. I already said before, y'all didn't gave us these phones to keep track of us, right? So
Yeah.
now I know for a fact that you're watching everything I do and everything I say. So I can't say shit. So that makes me furthermore, you know what? I'm better off just not talking to anyone because anything I say, they're gonna take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Any way I look, they're gonna look at me the wrong way. So
Wes,
it's more like, okay, well, fuck it. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. I'm going to be me. And if you don't like it, well, be all right.
I'm going through that same little thing, and it's kind of like my favorite quote, and I got it from another influencer, and it's, I can't, dim my light because you haven't paid your light bill as yet. Um,
That's a good one.
so,
That's a good one.
and I'm going through the exact same thing where, and I feel like it's more of an accountability thing. Folks want my voice and want my energy when it's in the pursuits in the benefit of them, but when it comes to a hard boundary of I need to protect myself, then all of a sudden I'm hard to deal with, I'm hard to work with. You're being irrational. It's like, no, actually, I'm not. You tell us for these clients they need to be able to do this, that, and the third. Okay, the first time, sure, I'll teach you. The second time, get out your pen and paper. We're going to take notes about this. The third time, it's going to be like, I talked to you about this. I need you to refer back to this case. And then it's all of it. She's not being helpful. She's not. I'm like, no, you're not being accountable. There's a difference between being helpful and being accountable.
I
And
taught you, gave you
accountability
notes.
accountability is in short supply these days, and that's what they will use.
Mm-hmm.
And they are not effectively communicating the fact that you are keeping someone accountable and they don't like it.
Or they ain't
Yeah.
paying attention for real.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it be. They ain't paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about it, everyone, even with jobs or businesses, everyone has an outline or something that they're there to do. I have
Mm-hmm.
the same problems with my job, but I, regardless of what they say, I keep doing what I came to do. So when it comes time to drop the hammer, you're not going to drop it on me because I've produced, regardless of what you guys said, or regardless of what anyone said. For me, it's when I find out a person is who they are, I'm cleaning off the table. You don't belong there with me no more. And I'm going to keep doing what
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing, regardless if you're on the sidelines barking or not. I'm still doing what I came to do at the end of the day
Yep.
Yeah.
because that's who I am.
Facts.
And they can't change that at all, period. But people are gonna be people, man. And that's after a while, after you live for a little while, you realize that there's some things that you just cannot change. And people is the number one. They're who they are. You can't make them happy at all.
Mm.
You can only do you can only do you, be who you are. And if they like it or not, like he said earlier, I don't give a fuck. Just keep it pushing because at the end of the day, you're gonna get tired. They're gonna get tired. They're gonna give up and they're gonna move on to the next person. But that's them. That ain't you.
I
So
had
Mm-hmm.
store
my table
managers
is my
ask
table.
me, I had store managers ask me, they's like, well, why do other employees feel like, you may be, or they maybe have a problem with you or maybe scared or something like that. I was like, I don't know. Say,
That's
for one, I don't come in to make friends. I came here to make money and go to hell on. I
yeah.
didn't come here to be buddy with y'all. I don't give a fuck what y'all talk about. I don't care what goes on.
Real.
I
And
don't
if
talk
I
to them.
if we become friends, just know that that is a great honor and a
Exactly.
privilege
Because
that
first of
Like, why
all,
would you didn't
I ain't friendly.
That I ain't
So of course
friendly.
listen.
that's
I
why they
try.
don't feel like, we
I'm
friends. I ain't
friendly.
friendly.
I am friendly until I'm not friendly anymore, meaning that I'm not a yes person. And that's another thing
Right.
that a lot of people don't like. It's like they want someone to be on their side. But
Mhm.
again, accountability.
Yep.
It's like I'll listen to your story, and then because I'm going to be sitting here with my little spliff, like, okay, so you're telling me this, but what did you do?
Exactly.
See, they don't like that. They
Yeah.
just want to be like, and here's the thing: if you tell me, you know, here, Sin, I'm going to tell you this story, and I just need you to just listen. I don't, I just need to get it out.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. But if you don't give me that disclaimer, so I know how to react to that, I'm going to be like, okay, and what was your part in this? Because you're telling me what everybody else did, but what did you do?
Exactly.
Like, make sure you have the discernment to put yourself
For real, because
out
if
there
you can give me
too.
all this
That's next week.
info,
That's next week.
if you can give me all this info, that means they trusted you to get all of this info. So
Exactly.
what part did you play in this?
There's always your side, their side, and the truth. So it's
What
just
did,
like, all right, cool.
what did Cat Williams say? For 30 years, I got information, knowledge, and secrets.
Right. Exactly. Keep that first.
Mm.
For real.
He said, and then he ran fast as hell to get out of there and tell everybody.
Um,
Oh man. You
So I'm
see,
gonna just go
look
on
at
record and
Cat.
say
That's
I'm
a
gonna
shining
end up cutting
example
my
right
part
there.
short because I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna end up cutting my part short on here. I'm gonna just be real
okay.
with you all the way, honey. Just let
All
you
You
know,
right.
coming back or you going for good?
huh?
I said, you coming back or you going for good?
I don't know. Hey man, it depends on how the stomach's going.
all
All right,
right,
man.
no said, no said.
That's it.
I'll just be honest with you, bro.
No, you good. You know how to get back. If I see you pop up, I'll bring you back in.
Right on, right on, right on.
All right, flush the toilet and wash your hands.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bye, Wes.
uh,
Cheese and bread.
ooh,
Oh, so yeah, I'm like, I feel like a lot of times the universe places things in front of us, and us as human beings, we might look at it the wrong way. Like how we were talking about earlier. Sometimes it's a blessing, or sometimes it's trying to see if we're ready to take the next step. So, feeling, do you think the universe is the biggest thing to cause us? Is that catalyst for growth?
No, I think the universe doesn't control us. We have the power to control it. And that's the problem because we're thinking in reverse. The universe is there to assist us. So if we speak into it and say, this is what I need or what I want, then the anticipation is that it's going to send it back in our direction. How it happens is what we don't know. So whether it looks like we're falling forward or everything's falling apart around us, it's not necessarily that. It's what you ask for being fulfilled. See what I'm saying? So if everything flatlines after you ask for that specific thing, if you trust that what you're saying is powerful enough to actually happen, then you know that that's what you caused. You caused the clearing. So if I want this and I want that house in that place right there, then the trees got to move, right? So somebody's got to cut the trees down. It's not pretty. So little wild animals lost their home or whatever. But at the end of the day, that house
Poor
is
little
there because
Hopper.
you said it's supposed to be there. And that's what happens when you conversate with the universe. I was reading this in the book of Thomas, it talked about prayer within the same sense. It says prayer is not begging. Prayer is an agreement between you and your higher power. It's you saying, this is what I'm going to do, and it's going to begin, it'll begin to happen. The universe is a catalyst for that. So anything that comes from the universe is based on what our conversation was with our higher power or a higher person. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's not necessarily beating us. It's that we forgot what we said, and here it's and the things that are happening are it's like I said it, now I have to follow it. If I don't follow what I said and things start to happen, then I forgot that I asked for that, and this may be the cause of what of it happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that brings up a question for me. Let's get a little esoteric on that one. So you think that before we even came down to this world, we pretty much mapped out what we wanted for this world, and now we're here and don't remember, but the universe is giving everything that we asked for, and it's just us in general going through the steps and based off our decisions.
I think we came with the power, but we forgot. I mean, you have to think about this. The house that we're raised in, those people are supposed to raise us to. I was born to my mother and my father.
Okay.
It's something that they had something in mind of the reason why I was coming. So if they wanted me, let's take for instance the biblical story about Samson. Hananiah, the angel comes to Hananiah and says, "You're gonna have a son. He's going to be a Nazarene. You can't feed him this, that, and the other. In order for him to fulfill his purpose, this is how you have to treat this child." That's not happening anymore. So we're coming randomly, and no one's helping us remember the reason why we came here in the first place. So it's like now when you get to a place like you get a deja vu, right?
Yeah.
So I stop at this deja vu. Man, I remember, what am I supposed to do next? I was either there before, or this is the point to where I'm supposed to remember what I'm supposed to say or do next in order for what I said needs to be fulfilled to actually be fulfilled. But we get turned around by the subliminal messages and what people say what the world actually looks like or supposed to be. We're not supposed to get caught up in that. And that's the hardest part, because if we're not if no one's given us an image of who we actually are, then we're going to look for images in everywhere but inside of ourselves. And so if we never stop to look inside, or have a moment of meditation, or properly taught to meditate, to look inside of us to find out what our direction is, then we'll never get there, because we forgot, and now we're gonna get caught up in this whole world where I want to be like that person, I want to do like that person. And after a while, it begins to stretch you in a few different directions to where you feel like nothing's really happening according to what you want in the first place. That's when confusion starts to set in. And when you get confused, it's like, okay, what's the reset button? The reset button is your conversation with your higher self. And the reset button is, okay, universe, this is what I want. This is what I need. This time I'm going to pay attention, and whatever falls, it's going to happen because I said that this is my end results. You see what I'm saying? But there's no one there to tell us, I've been through that before, and this is going to fall, this is going to fall, and this is going to fall, and this is how you're going to feel. That's why in the middle of that, you feel like, oh God, I've lost everything. Everything's gone wrong, and nothing's going my way. That's not necessarily the truth. It's, I wanted the slate completely clean, and this is what I want, and this is what it should look like. The unfortunate piece is you have to have people around you that are supporting that, or having the same like mindset. If you're having the same like mindset and you can get together and build, we understand that, okay, if that fell, or if something died in the middle of this, it's not to the end. It's sort of part of what my plan was in the beginning. And again, it's like, if I've never built it before, if I've never seen it before, and I've never seen the actions of it before, I can't say that it's wrong or right, or it's destroying me. I can say I spoke it, and I believe that my power is so much that it actually will happen. So whatever falls in the middle of this, I got to accept it for what it is, and I got to keep going. Otherwise, it's not the universe beating us or giving us messages. It wants to do what you said it wants you to do. It wants you to
keeping you accountable.
Exactly. It's not even governing you. You're governing it. You see what I'm saying? We keep wanting to put something above us. We're God people. Think about this. We're God people. We're so powerful that our words actually come true. If you've ever been a kid and you said something, and all of a sudden it manifests to you, boom, oh my gosh, that's evidence that I'm powerful enough to speak something, and manifestation happens. You see what I'm saying? So it's not the universe being a tool or It's something to beat us with, nothing above us to hinder us. It's supposed to help us flow, because that's the universe, right? It flows, everything flows. If whatever you say into it, it's going to take it and it's going to find what you're actually looking for, and it's going to bring it back to you. That's what's supposed to happen. It's not a tool to beat us with or to govern us. We are God people, and it's impossible to say that we're not Him. We're born with that power. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So if we're empowered like that, then why are we standing back acting like what we're saying is not going to happen, or we can't manifest anything? We can. Would it be a headache, or would there be traumatic experiences along the way? Yes, it will be. But to what end? To the end that you said would be. You see what I'm saying? That's you believing in yourself. You believing that you have that power to do that. If you don't, then the universe is your governor, or whoever says that they're above you is above you. That's why the book says to call no man master. No man, because they don't have the keys to hold over your head for your future, your past, or your present. Whatever, they have no control over that. They're just someone walking alongside of you. So they're not your master or anything else regarding governances. The only people that governed us was our parents, but they're supposed to raise us to a certain point, and then we're supposed to move on from that. You see what I'm saying? But we're not being taught that way. We're being inundated with subliminals. We're being inundated with what people say wealth and power and abundance is. We're being inundated with all of that. And then we're believing it instead of saying, I have the power to do it. That's why it's such a struggle, because you're seeing a finished result for someone else, but you want that. So you're not going to want to wait for that process to complete for it to come, because you're already seeing it in somebody else's life. What is the process? How does the universe play? What role does the universe play? It takes what we're saying, it puts it in circulation, and begins to help us build what we said we want to build, if we're patient enough. Okay. I'm sorry, that was a rant.
Nah, that was
No.
good.
I'm sorry.
Cheese and bread.
Pack it up.
Yeah,
There's a
I'm
lot to
like,
think of.
I'm like,
There's a lot to think
all of that,
on.
bro. Anybody got something? Damn.
I was gonna say, how special of a world it would be if everybody was sorry, let me be specific, was walking in their divinity, right? We get a little self-conscious, which is, I mean, it's perfectly normal, but at the same time, can you bounce back and know that the path that you're on and what you're asking for, you're sure of? And even at any moment, like, we could ask the universe for these items, even though they are already ours. It's just, you have to put in the work and the time. You can change the story at any moment. Like, just because you said it then does not mean that is necessarily for a chapter to finish now.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing that we kind of beat ourselves up about as well, is I asked for this and I just gotta see it through. And no, you can put it on pause. I mean, the only finite is when you are no longer breathing. Right. And even then, it's like, okay, the story's over. So
that still ain't the end of the story. That's just that chapter ending.
Correct.
Yeah. Afterlife.
But
I don't even consider that an afterlife, because it's a transference of energy. So you never really died. It's just you transition to another chapter.
And what folks don't understand about that too, that's thermodynamics right there too. Fourth law. Your energy doesn't die. And that's the same thing for like our family trees and everything. Any kind of unfinished work, especially if you do have children, it transfers to them to some degree.
Did you just quote the 12 laws of the universe?
Pretty much.
Yep.
Okay, I was thinking, I was like, wait a minute.
She did.
Okay, all right. I picked that
You
up.
got to, though, when you talking about the universe, though.
Yeah, I know. I was just, it just caught me. I was like, wait a minute, Okay, got it. Dang. Yo, we getting deep. My feet palms are sweating.
Foot bottom.
Yeah, I see that in and what. Man, this is ooh.
And
Um,
I guess also too, just in the relationship aspect, um, and this goes into the next week one too. I have to kind of give that disclaimer of, okay, if you want to experience this relationship and all of that, I am going to challenge you, and I expect the same of you. It's going to be uncomfortable. There's going to be some crunchy ass conversations that are going to be had, and it's only at the end of the day for the greater good, but also too, we when we're dating and we're interacting with potentials, and it's more of like a hierarchical type where you have that one nesting partner, or you are married and they're your primary. It's like I have to always tell them, I am an addition and a complement. I am not competition. So let's start there. And you're not going to, because you're not getting satisfied in this certain area, just use me for that, because
That's wrong.
I'm more than that.
Yeah.
And I care too much about the whole person, and I can't just take parts.
She's cooking. She's cooking.
So that's one of those biggest things, at least for me. And
I feel like that's
for
boundaries as well.
Don't you?
huh?
You know,
So I
some
feel
of
like
that
that's
corned beef and
boundaries as
cabbage,
well.
don't you? I don't know. I think there's something in.
Did you hear me, Sin?
No, I didn't.
I said I feel like that's you stating your boundaries as well.
Yeah,
It is very much so, very much so.
that is.
And I turned around and, as we were having those conversations, I'm like, take this back to your wife. This is what y'all need to have. Like, it ain't gonna be just me. Like, that's our wife too. It's like, but just know too, if we get in this relationship, which actually, like my current partner, lover, that's exactly what I'm saying to him. And he was like, just blinders, just the light has come in because of that. I'm like, stop settling. If you're unhappy with this, you got to communicate that. You got to communicate that. What you're asking questions about mine, and I'm fine with that. By all means, I have nothing to hide from you when it comes to those types of conversations. But again, the biggest thing is accountability, and also too, my husband won't let me walk away. Like if I need 5 minutes, I'll tell him I need 5 minutes, and then I'll come back. But we don't do that toxic and just settle. Like we don't do that. And I found that that's what he was doing. Um, well, she doesn't like this, or we only get like sex 4 times a year, and that's it. I'm like, why is that it? Like, maybe y'all need to discuss that. And then part of that is her responsibility as well. If we have some medical things going on, go to the doctor. Like, take care of yourself.
Communication.
Because that's not fair on you. And then you can't sit there and turn around and weaponize that, which I so hate that a lot of females do. It's like, I'm gonna withhold sex now.
All right, I'm gonna circle back. I don't think the universe withholds sex. So
no, it doesn't.
Walter, how you were talking about how sometimes things end up happening and it feels like you're stuck there wondering, like, okay, am I on the right path? Would you like equivalent that into a midlife crisis, where some people are sitting there just like, I feel like I should be a lot farther than I am, or I haven't accomplished anything that I was supposed to be accomplished by now?
I guess you can equate it to that. And the talking to people, it's mainly them seeing other people and how they feel like other people are so much further along than they are versus I'm sitting here and I said this and I want this. I see you're not watching everybody supersede you.
Mhm.
You're not, because they're living their life. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we can't, I can only partake if I'm having a conversation with that person. How he got successful, how far he got, or how that happened for him is all based on his agreement with his higher self and his agreement with the universe. It's still, but if you think about it, it's all a process. So I can't really say that that's the basis, or midlife crisis is the basis, unless you see like, okay, so I'm 49. I feel like I've lived maybe 3 or 4 cycles of life because of the years that's gone by. Or if you think about, I was in a relationship, or a relationship setting that was different from where I am now. So that's for me, that's one cycle of life. It's done, finished. Now I've moved on. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not paused, or it's not a midlife crisis anymore. It's me determining it's time to move on. It's time for something different. It's time for my life to look differently. If you're going with me or not, but this is the direction I'm going in. It's not a midlife crisis for me. It's me just moving from one stage to the next. And the hard part about all this is wiping the idea of subliminals out of your brain completely. When I say that, I mean, look at the government structure. They pride themselves in showing the news where everything's falling apart around everyone, and either your brain takes that and goes with it, or it says, I cannot have anything to do with that. I'm building something that is completely outside of that, because that system does not govern me. If you think about it, you have to place yourself in the middle of that in order to be affected by what it's doing. If I don't put myself there, then it won't affect me. Yeah, it's hard to see people dying and people going through things, but everyone has a decision in what's happening to them. You see what I'm saying? I'm either there, or I'm either wanting to be there, or I'm not. But the hardest part is sitting back and saying, what actually applies to me when it comes to living? When I leave this house, what do I have to block out the minute I step out the door, so I can make my goal, like I said, I was when I got up and got dressed. So I got dressed, I'm leaving the house, this is what I'm gonna do. If you're sidetracked every time you leave the house and nothing you say gets done, you're stuck in this mind frame that you're supposed to be living in the subliminal world. You all heard about the Matrix and all the rest of the stuff, and interdimensional junk and all the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
It's all the basis of saying there's an alternative world that exists, and they want you to take a part of it. I don't have nothing to do with it at all, because it hinders me from building what I said I'm gonna build. You see what I'm saying? I love the history of America when it was Pangea. It was all one landmass, and everyone's mind frame that were here in the sense of indigenous were here to build. They were here to build with each other, and they were here to honor their earth, and they were here to fulfill a purpose that they decided to come to do. So it's not, if the minute you pull in and say, this is a midlife crisis for me, what is the arena of midlife crisis? Oh, he might buy a car. Oh, he might go buy a house. Oh, he might go get a wife that's younger. Or he might do this. Those are all the stereotypes that go with midlife crisis. So you've gathered all those things that may happen for you because it's midlife crisis. It's not predetermined. It's midlife crisis. So you see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I try to shy from those things. I mean, it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. It's hard because you're watching the world move, and instead of going with the world, you almost have to go against it. We live in the world, but we're not of the world. That's the whole thing. We live
Saying that makes it sound like we aliens.
We are.
I mean, we are.
We
We
are.
are.
Now, kind of to fill in on that midlife crisis thing, I could give a perfect analogy for that.
Mhm.
all forms of social media is a midlife crisis because they're only going to show you the good shit that happens. Every now and again, you're going to get somebody that's going to give you true TV, but even then, you kind of looking that side eye, right? Unless you're right there by somebody's story and you're seeing it firsthand.
Right.
Social media will put you in a tailspin to make you believe that you are further behind than what you need to be.
Exactly.
And I had to learn that the hard way. And I'm like, you know what? That's when I just had to turn it off.
Right.
Can I piggyback off of that? Social media is definitely a midlife crisis. In the terms of one, I've never seen so many adults and elders in a need for attention.
Right. Exactly.
Like the little TikTok dances and all of that, doing the challenges and following up with the trends. When I was coming up, our elders and grown folks didn't act in this manner.
No, they did not.
They did not.
Nope.
Like my grandma look at this stuff and be like, what the heck? And then it's people her age doing this same thing.
Right.
So it's like, what is up with the world's need of being seen?
Exactly.
Like everybody's trying to be the next person to go viral. Like whatever happened to being a regular person? You remember that?
Yep.
Because being regular has now been equated to it being regular, being normal is equated to being basic.
Right.
And I'm sorry, basic, there is nothing wrong with basic. Matter of fact, I needed to go back to basic because
that is 90% of the world. No lie. 90% of the world is basic.
Right.
It's basic.
I needed to go back. It's like, well, y'all want to sprinkle some extraordinary. It's like every now and then, okay, let's do that. But other than that, it's like, can we glorify the fact that I have clothes on my back, a roof over my head, I have food, and I got a job I can go to make sure I can still supply those things? Can we get back to just that? And then everything else is like, oh, you went on a trip, yeah, share it, okay, cool. But that it's that need for attention because
you know why?
feel like,
you know why?
What's up?
Because a couple of years ago they put out this campaign that made everyone feel like they're unique. But the sad truth about it is nobody's unique.
What up, it's your boy Westside Jones. Be sure to check out my podcast, Vibes of Westside, Tuesdays at 2 o'clock. Also, be sure to check out some of my music on all streaming platforms. Westside Jones is WESSYDEJONES. Get familiar. Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? It's your boy Donley. Just here to let you know if you like what you're hearing so far, please go ahead and like, subscribe, or either just share the podcast. I'm also letting you know that everybody has a voice. If you feel that you have a story that can impact others and you want to share it, reach out to me at my email at donley@divinetime.blog. That's DANLI, the symbol for at, DIVINETIME.blog. Or if you just if you have a story you want to remain anonymous, I can read that for you and just send it on over. I also have a group on Facebook called Divine Time Positivity. With that group, ultimately, I want everybody to just be able to start the day off on a positive note, to build a community of warriors of love, a community of people who will stand up for the right things, just a community of what love is.
Because there's somebody that have the same talents that you do, the same attributes you give, the same skills you have, the same looks you have, the same hair, the same color that you are. Nobody is really unique. Even with disease, even with like dysfunctions, there is still somebody halfway across the world that got this same dysfunction you have.
Down the street.
It might be somebody down the street got this same dysfunction you have. So how unique really are we?
Yeah.
We're not really that unique. But there was this campaign to tell people, oh, everybody's so unique, everybody's so special. But the truth is, we're not. We're all one and the same.
Yep.
That's that no child left behind shit.
Yes.
That's really what it was. No, like real talk, because in words like unique, exotic, now they're commonplace because
Yeah.
of just that thought right
Everybody,
there.
everybody has to be accepted.
And that's the problem. It's like, no, we all can't be black butterflies. Someone got to be the moth.
For real.
And there's some pretty moths too.
Hello.
For real.
Hello.
Honestly, I done seen some moths that look better than butterflies.
I mean, and then we all can't be winners. Like, and that's part of the problem with now too.
Yeah.
And
We
I
all
hate,
can't be winners because if there's no losers, how do you win?
Exactly.
and then if you winning all the time, what are you really learning?
Not a
Wow.
damn
Nothing.
thing.
Nothing. You only learn from failure.
Fail. First attempt and was it first attempt in learning?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What it is?
Yeah.
Fail?
And that
Well,
you know
yeah.
what? I think
Oh
that was
my
the
God.
biggest change
Coming from a
for
wiener.
wasn't that a Bush initiative? I want to say it was that No Child Left
What?
Behind. No Child Left Behind. That's where it came
Yeah.
from.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
where it
That
came
was Bush.
from.
That was the first thing. That was in schools, and then they started doing
That was the
participation.
last thing he did before he was out of office.
Mhm.
Was enacted the first No Child Left Behind initiative.
Was that Bush or?
Bush.
Yeah. That was Bush.
That was a Bush. Yeah, that
And
was
so now everybody's like,
why we got all
well,
these
we're all
crazy people.
winners. No,
Yeah.
no.
That was Bush. They enacted that after they
The next
realized
step was
his
you can
brother
be
couldn't
whatever you
pass
want to
the
be. Now we got
FCAT.
all these redheaded hawks walking around.
Mm.
Hey, listen, you're gonna let them people be telephone poles if they want to be a telephone pole.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but they realize that they get cold and can die once they realize they can't be outside in that weather. No, stay outside. I gotta make a call. You're messing my reception up.
Here's my thing with this. If you want to turn yourself into a woman, by all means, that is your human right. Go ahead and do that. But what you would not do, if I have known you your whole life as a man, you would not try to push on me that you are a woman now. No, sir. You will always be Tyrone instead of Taylor. Like, nah, we're not finna play this imaginary bull. And I got plenty of gay homeboys.
Yeah.
I got plenty of gay homies. And I talk this same way around them.
Now,
And they understand it.
oh, I wish we had one of them on here, because then I have a question for that one. Do you think that was something that was in line in their life, or you think that was
Right.
just a choice that they made, or something that happened in their life that was traumatic that they felt they need to go down that route?
Majority of them, I feel like they were molested as children because a lot of them that I've spoken with, that was what happened. Like when you really get down to the root of it, that is what really happened. A lot of those dudes are molested. And then I feel like some of them, they did it as a trend and ended up liking it.
Well, they always say you don't know what you don't like until you try it. I guess there's just some things I ain't trying.
What?
That's what
I
I'm
feel
saying.
like, you know,
All right, what's wrong
I
with
feel
you?
like I don't need to try
Bad.
everything in life.
I don't need to step on a
Hell,
True. Like, yeah, true.
hey, that's the same thing a crackhead tell you about crack.
Yep. Nice.
And you see what that does to people.
What happened? I tried it one time, and now I'm sucking dick for another hit.
You know, so nah, I'm good on that.
I know, right? Hey, bro, you want
Like-
a cheeseburger?
Like this. Every drug that I have seen somebody do some real questionable, sketchy shit on or shit for, I've stayed away from that.
Yeah. It's like, look, I'll push for you. I mean, you showed me it's addicting. I'm like, I'm. You said it's good. I take your word for it.
I've stayed away. Like I didn't try ecstasy until I was like a whole grown ass man because I was seeing how that had people wired up and freaking clutching on their teeth and stuff. I'm like, man, these niggas is weird. Like, for real. When everybody around me thought that shit was cool, I'm like, y'all niggas look weird as fuck right now, dog.
Yeah.
Like, we sitting up here having a good time and you look angry.
While being
Like,
dehydrated as hell.
I mean,
mm-hmm.
that's them dealing with themselves. Some people can't see themselves. I mean, I'll be honest. I think when you're dealing with traumatic situations, you don't see yourself. You're like what is it called? You're looking from the view of the player only.
First person?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so you can really look at yourself and see who you are. And I can
Third
test it
person.
because, yeah, I can test to that because it's going through traumatic experiences. When it happens, what do you call it? Medically, they say cortisol starts to rise. And depending on how long the situation is, the cortisol you're either stuck in the cortisol or you're in it for just that moment, but it's fight or flight. So everything you're doing now is just fight or flight. It's not, I can't see myself. I don't even know who I am until you stop or you pause. It's like, what the hell have I been doing for the last year?
Cool.
Mm.
Cool.
I can't even see. And then when you do look in the mirror, like, damn, you got old. You didn't stuff in that long, or to realize who you are that long, because you're in this place where you're dealing only with this fight or flight. And in that, I'm gonna get what I need and only what I need, and that's it. There's no building, there's no
Mhm.
legacy, there's no nothing. There's just fight or flight. That's all there is. And 9 times out of 10, that's mostly what the ghettos are made of.
Yeah.
You got the sirens that contribute to that, from the police cars, helicopters, gunshots. All of that contributes to that same mindset because it puts you in a state of fear. And
You're right.
I'm always ducking. It's a constant war zone. It's crazy. But how long are you in that mindset before you actually realize I have not been living? I haven't. I've just been dealing from moment to moment with whatever this is. And then
And
when it's
that,
go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, that's the biggest roadblock that I feel like a lot of people have is literally against themselves.
Right.
And then they will succumb to that.
right.
But knowing
You
full well that, okay, maybe I need to change my environment, and because it's easier to
you
commiserate than
don't
it
need to
is to
change the
actually.
environment.
Right.
Well, I mean, if it's well, here's the thing: if you're growing around or you grew up around a lot of trauma, you got those gunshots, you got those.
You change yourself before anything.
That's true.
Because if you just change your environment, you're going to go to that new environment with that same mentality. You have to
That
change the mentality before you change anything. A lot of people out here are really running from the real person that they are. A lot of people out here ain't gangsters. They just
mm-hmm,
doing it because when you grow up in the hood, that's what you really got to do, or people gonna fuck with you.
Exactly.
mm-hmm,
But if people just start really being their true self, everybody just start being their true self.
Ooh, that
You
true
don't got
self.
to be that gangster.
We
But a
don't.
lot
mm-hmm,
of people in the hood, because of rap music, because of what we done been through, because of what we choose to keep holding against us, we
mm-hmm.
create this environment for ourselves.
Yeah,
Right.
I wasn't clear on that one, but yes, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah. So you got to
Yeah.
change that mindset before you change your environment, or you ain't going to be ready to step into that environment.
And I think so. With that being said, because we kind of glorify that struggle culture, it's like folks don't want to do it. But I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I can't. I personally like have I had struggles? Absolutely. Was I out the mud? No,
Mhm.
no. Both my parents were in my house. I had a beautiful out. I grew up a normal, happy childhood and stuff. Did I have trauma that happened along the way? Absolutely. But no, I didn't have anything like I was in a rough neighborhood or anything like that. Drugs. No, no. I saw my parents every day.
Mhm.
Single
So,
parent household, single parent household, grew up in the hood,
mm-hmm,
been homeless 3 different times with my
mm-hmm,
mom growing up. Never have I ever said I got it out the mud, because I am very well aware that there are people on the other side of this planet literally getting it out of the
out the
mud.
mud, right?
Mhm.
People in America know
Downhill?
nothing about getting it out the mud.
No.
Mm-mm.
There's too many ways to make a good living out here. Hell, you can go sell drugs and take penitentiary chances. and be a millionaire. Hell, you don't have to go to school to be a millionaire in the US.
No.
Majority who are did not.
Mm-hmm.
That part. So
You can roll into something
nope,
else with that right there.
you may have got it out of the gravel, but you ain't get it out the mud.
Mm.
Like
Out the gravel.
nobody
I like
over
it.
here. Yeah, nobody over here got it out the mud like that. Like
I need to screenshot you right there and put those words there, turn you into a meme, bro.
for
Got it out the gravel.
real, because nobody. Honestly, life over here is pretty sweet when you compare it to a motherfucker, on the other side.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. When you in China, your parents set up your whole life for you. You can't deviate from that path or you get disowned.
Mm.
Hell, Japan and they military, if you mess up while they doing their little parade walks, do you know they used to kill you?
Mm-hmm. Drag him off.
Where you stand at, they will shoot you.
Wow.
In the middle of the parade. And nobody better not look at you, grab you, hold you, nothing. They better keep walking.
Why did I just think of Squid Games? That one where they got the big doll and if you move it, you
Sort of like that. Sort of like that. Where do you think they get that idea from?
Exactly.
Their military used to do that. I think they still do it. Like, it's a whole different ball game on the other side of the world and in some of these other countries.
So in all honesty, we lucky out here. We lucky. We really lucky out here.
Yeah.
We're
We
fortunate
really
in some aspects,
We're-
but no, I feel like a couple of countries got it better, and they got
Yes,
it right.
a couple of
Like,
countries do.
now, when I say that, and I'm automatically going to go to the motherland, because while we are built on a credit system, they're like, if you ain't got the money, you ain't got it. So when it could be socks, credit, I could take that shit from you. But if I purchased that with my money, it is mine.
Exactly.
So,
Andy, you know, once you own
David.
something over there, you don't pay taxes on it. You
Yeah.
don't pay like a property tax on it.
Yep.
And you don't pay for water.
That man didn't Orlando
You pay
Brown
for
say
water
all
one
this?
time.
Orlando Brown said all this. He was like, it doesn't make sense. He was like, why is it that you buy a house, you gotta pay taxes on that house? He was like, you buy land, you gotta pay taxes on the land. But how
on the land.
are you gonna buy land from people who don't even own the land?
Exactly.
I mean, that's the.
They got rid of all the fruit trees on the street, so that way homeless folk can't even have it. You're paying for water. You're damn near paying for air. He's like, you're paying for everything just to survive. He was like, things that you're supposed to have to live, you have to pay and buy. I was like,
I mean, and again, we're living like POWs because the land
slavery by another name.
Yeah,
we are.
The land that the land that they're selling is not theirs to sell in the first place.
It's not.
It wasn't
anything about that. You see what I'm saying?
And if you do, then
otherwise it was homesteading. You built your little log cabin. You got your shotguns. There's somebody to come and take it from you.
1980. I think it was 19.
Like how you said with the flag. You find you a plot of land. You stick your flag there. Hey, this is mine.
I think it was like 1924 or something like that when the dude first brought the idea of a 9-to-5.
Yep. Yeah, this is just recent. Like people lived off of themselves.
Yeah.
And people did jobs like just because.
Yeah.
Like just because that's what you did in a society. That's how society thrived. You worked, you prospered, you made things, you created, you built.
You contributed. That's
and a perfect example of
you bartered, damn it.
But yep.
Black Wall Street.
That was a perfect example of a sustainable society. And everybody got what they needed. Everybody was taken care of.
That made me think
that was brought up off a barter system.
Leave what you don't.
Exactly. The barter system. Cut out the dollar.
Now it's like, and if you were to stand up and try and get that back, I feel that there's gonna be so many people who are not gonna say anything. There's too many cowards. Nobody else will stand up to fight for that. So therefore it'll be easy for what it does to get wiped out.
But you can just do it.
Yeah.
You can buy the land, develop the land, and whatever you say currency within the community of the people that you are is what it is.
And that in that short amount of time where you're alone, you're not going to get very far. They'll get rid of it
if you're alone. But if you have enough people to say, hey, we're on with this.
And that's the issue.
What's going to stop?
That's the issue.
What's going to stop someone?
People are scared.
Right.
They've been living in
People
fear.
are not scared.
Nobody else is really going to stand up.
That's
If
unfortunate.
they try and stand up, and then they start seeing the government start seeing that you are doing something. Just what happened to all other Black-owned things, burned down, buried under rivers, or have freaking parks on top of them.
It's not just Black owned. It's not just Black owned. The reason they did that to Black people's stuff is because the Black people were thriving without the government. Anytime you try to thrive without having the government in your society, they will always come after you to destroy it.
Yeah.
Because monkey see, monkey do.
Mhm.
These one set of people seeing all these people over here thriving without the government's intervention, and crime rates are down. Nothing's really going on. People are happy over there. Eventually, other people are going to take that mantle up, and they're going to be like, you know what? Something ain't right.
Right.
And honestly, do any of y'all know what's going on with Texas right now?
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
they bordered off the.
they're getting ready.
Yep.
They're going to eventually secede. They
You
just say
talking
that-
about the
Texas is
border?
no, Texas is trying to become their own country.
Oh, they can. They can secede at any moment.
Yeah.
They were the first.
Yes.
They got barbed wire up and everything. I'm not sure if you
Yeah.
saw it. I did TikTok. I was like,
Yeah.
Civil War.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bruh. I
Hey,
definitely believe in
How
Civil
that
War.
song go? One monkey don't stop no show.
No show. But one monkey does start it.
Yeah. But
And that's what's gonna eventually happen. And
Yeah.
I feel like something with this next, if not this election, the next election is gonna
I don't
kick
even
off
think this
something.
election is really even going to continue, bro. I don't think it's going to make it there.
Bruh, I've been saying the same thing. I don't really think it's gonna make it because one, nobody really cares about, unless it's Trump, nobody really cares about the presidential candidates.
No. And I mean that's the thing too, because it's like, all right,
Nobody really does.
yeah. I'm like the
Like-
biggest thing that gets me though is like people do not realize. I'm like, the red and blue, they're the same. None of them are going to do anything for us, honestly. So why are y'all putting so much faith in these people? They're politicians. What does a politician stand for?
Here's the thing. Whole lie to y'all.
Exactly.
For real.
I'm like, a politician is literally a professional liar.
Mm-hmm.
So all they're gonna do is sit up there and tell you what they want you to hear to get your votes. Then you vote them in. They don't do jack diddly squat.
You know why? You know why? Because here's the thing. When we completely ban people from endorsing politicians and giving to political campaigns, I can guarantee you the people's voices will be heard. But as long as people can align politicians' pockets with money to get their agenda spread across, the people will never be heard.
No. And we need to stop paying them. It
Yeah.
should be a volunteer position because we pay them 10 times more than we pay ourselves.
Yeah. For them to do nothing.
And then former presidents can still get paid until they die.
As long as they did not get impeached, which I think that's the reason why they were trying to impeach Trump. Hey, that way he doesn't have to worry about filing bankruptcy every 5 years.
Oh, man.
Most likely. Yeah, the same reason he buried his ex-wife on one of his properties so he can claim the cemetery.
Hey, that was smart.
Yeah.
That was smart.
It's like,
Real dope.
like,
Honestly,
I'm going to use
if you got acres, bro, and that's honestly why I want acres. If you got acres, you can bury any of your family members, your dog out there, label it a cemetery. You ain't got to pay property taxes because it's a cemetery. And they cannot take your land from you.
Yep. Even though they did it to the Indians. But anyway, sorry.
But see, that's the whole hostile takeover. Man, and the only laws that are set against all of that are put in place because they don't want the people, anybody to turn around and do the same thing they did to them as they did to us. That's the only reason why the law is even in place.
With
I
us,
wasn't even talking about policies and all the rest of the stuff when they came here. We were completely different, and it was based on economical sustainability, and that was it. This whole hostile takeover, not even going to war. You're cowards. You let these people set you up, give you fur coats, make you You're living over the winter
Gave him
time.
smallpox. I
Yeah,
think?
and all the rest of it. You turn around and give him smallpox to die. You kill the chief, and then you put his head on a stake and say, "Let's have this meal in honor of your dead chief."
Thanks for
The
giving.
day.
Sick stuff. You see what I'm saying? It's but exactly, but that's what they do. That's their MO. So every law that's
Well,
made against doing those things, it prevents us from doing the same thing to them that they did to us.
this,
Unfortunately,
I can tell you this. I don't believe in that whole story.
you know,
History.
Nah,
their
I don't
story.
believe in that whole story
Go ahead.
because I know in Florida
Oh yeah, go
they
ahead.
had they had what's called the Black Seminole War,
Yep, there we go.
and within that book, if these Indians had been over here in this area for so long, they still needed the blacks for okay, because the Indians had slaves as well.
Mm-hmm.
They needed the blacks for farming,
Mm-hmm.
excavation. These motherfuckers didn't even know how to make rice. Real talk. America was about to be a downfall if the blacks didn't come along and show them how to cultivate rice.
Mm-hmm. How to wash themselves, all that.
There would be no America right now.
Stop.
Like when
They
people
still
be
don't use
talking
a
about,
washcloth.
they don't. When people be talking about the contributions that blacks did for America,
Mhm.
oh, it goes deep. But it'll never happen because we were the indigenous people here. They had something a long time ago called the $5 Indian, where you could pay $5 to become an Indian.
White people were paying $5 to become native.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's why you find a lot of white people saying, "Oh, I'm Cherokee, I'm this, I'm that." No, you're paid. No family paid for that.
You got paperwork. That's if you got a receipt.
That's wild.
For real, your bloodline ain't that.
Your name maybe is now.
For real. But that's the lies that America holds up. Like a lot of people don't know California used to be a fucking island.
Yep. What was it, Queen Khalifa as well? Yeah, that. Oof.
Khalifa.
Yep. You know about Queen Khalifa? Put it like this: Wonder Woman, that story.
That's about the island of
Yeah,
California.
island. Yep.
And what's crazy is before the westernized map was brought up, California was an island.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Just like how Antarctica had trees and stuff.
It still has trees and stuff.
Oh.
We just not allowed to get to that part.
I wasn't about to go that far, bro. Look, don't mark.
Oh, bro, trust me, this rabbit hole goes,
Okay,
bro.
we
Bro, I
speaking
done
too
went
much.
deep down the rabbit hole,
We
bro.
speaking too much, bro. This thing about to get canceled before it can even get posted.
bro, I go deep. Like I was just looking at some of that
We all
yesterday.
can. I feel like all of us on here can. Send you
Yeah.
good? Oh, your mouth move, but I didn't hear nothing.
Oh no, I'm listening. No, it's it's facts. It's facts. Like, look, I'm absorbing it and over here messing with my computer and stuff. And I guess hey, let's circle this back. So with all this knowledge that we have,
Oh, she's like solutions.
hello, with all this knowledge that we have, and you know, where the topic of the test from the universe, why do we feel like we're well now let me rephrase that. Are we applying what we are learning consciously in trying to make that better? I feel like everybody on here is doing their best. I've known I blatantly haven't, just because I might have been just tired and I just didn't want to deal. I'll be honest with that. But can we, guys, get a poll? I mean, you saw the test was applied, you got the knowledge. Are you ready for that next test to come back up? And you know how to move on this one? Or are you just gonna, it is what it is?
towards a practical application. So what do we do this? What do we do this time around? Do we trust ourselves that we have the power that what we're saying is actually can happen, and realize every situation is not the detriment, and it may be to what it may speak to what we're asking for. It's anything like conditioning. If I say I'm going to lose weight, I'm not going to do that sitting around. I got to get up and I got to do something. I have to exercise. I have to walk or whatever. I can't just sit down and say, okay, I believe I can lose weight without practical application. It's all the basis of believing in who you are. And if you get to that place to where you don't know who you are, for me, it was the joke for me was I came from somewhere. And I think I was like maybe 9 or 10 when this came to my brain. The big question in my head was, I know where I came from, which was clear and apparent, but there are things here that you have to question what the origin is. I don't have to question my origin. I was born. We're God. What else can you say? The loose term God is just the idea of a deity, is something higher above us.
Power greater than yourself.
Yeah, but there is nothing higher than who we are unless we put it there. You see what I'm saying? So if I put it there, then everything, if I put somebody there, then everything, if that person is above me and everything else is. I've just secluded myself to this box. Let me jump out of this box and say there's nothing that's going to hold me because I can't be held. My mind frame, my mindset, my power, my ability, all of that is unlimited. So I can do anything. Any restrictions I put on myself prevent me from doing what I do. So I can't put any restrictions on it. It sounds like living free. Living free is your mindset. It's your belief in power and who you are, and what your abilities are, what you can and cannot do. And because we're a ruled people, the hereditary thought is it's almost a hereditary thought to feel like that we're subject to someone. And that's the hard part, that whole energy that's been passed down from those generations, from slavery. I'm pinned down.
Are you talking about generational curses?
No, not generational curses. It was a psychological way of thinking that they gave us while we were slaves. So they put in our head that we were here to serve. We're subservient. And that's all we're here to do. You're here to pick my cotton, boy. You're here to pick up that box and put it in the garbage when I say you got to do it. So in that, everything that my grandmother and grandfather, my grandparents and parents taught us was on the basis of don't do that. Be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody gonna say something and do something, you're gonna be in trouble. I'm in trouble for what? I'm a free and living being. I have the power to do whatever I want to say. So why am I living under the thumb of a person, even when they're not saying that I'm living under their thumb, which they knew was going to happen this way, for us to be trained in so many generations to be this way, that it was going to eventually stick by itself, and they wouldn't have to say anything. And so here we are. And that's the only fight I feel like we have when it comes to the universe, when it comes to us speaking to the universe versus feeling like we're being tested. I don't think it's a test. I think it's what I said is going to happen, and now I got to wait out. The process. Know when to move when it's time to move. You see what I'm saying? But it's all of that's about knowing yourself and knowing your power and your ability, because you'll get the direction almost on a daily basis. You'll get it, but if you ignore it, then it seems like, oh my God, my life is falling apart. No, you have to pay attention to the words that you speak out of your mouth, because those are the words that are going to shape your whole existence. And that's what the universe is writing on. It's saying, okay, yeah, you said it. Remember you said it here? Okay, now this is what we're going to do. Boom. But you got to listen for it, and you got to pay attention.
Better write that shit down.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Write it down and go back to it. And you'll see the signs. You'll see the stuff happen. Slowly but surely, the people that you meet, people that you bump into, if you get into a car accident, whoever you hit, after the anger subsided, and you find out you hit somebody that's in the same line of business you are, you also connect. I mean, there's no specific way for you to get to your goal, but you have to be open that not every situation is there to destroy you. It isn't. It's to build you up.
It's one of those things where, like, when something happens in your life, you sit there and you really think about it. What am I supposed to gain from this?
Right.
Because I feel like us as human beings, we always look more towards the negative when things happen.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, this happened, and then some of us end up going down a pessimistic mindset.
Yeah.
And when really it's just like, okay, I feel like everything that happens to us has a positive to it. Just we're not used to finding the positive in things that happen. So therefore we dwell on the negative.
Right.
You know, it's the positive and the bad things.
Yeah, there is.
You know not to do that no more.
Exactly. Like,
that's
damn,
the positive. Like, damn, I know not to do that no more.
Shit.
Like, I know you done came out your mouth and said that before about something.
It's like that hurt. Ouch.
Yeah, like I know not to do that no more. It's like touching your first hot surface.
Or getting up too quick.
Exactly.
I mean, there's some people, damn. So, like, it hurts to hear the second time. I'm like, bro, you didn't get the first
Let
time.
me try it right.
I was pulled off this time.
Hey, some people that hard-headed.
Hey, either way, they still got the lesson eventually.
Nah, man.
Did you say hard head saute?
It's true.
It is.
And if you ain't gonna think, you gonna feel.
I'm telling you, that's the truth.
But then my daughter still in.
Dealing with the universe.
Yeah.
Y'all think it's a way off this bitch?
Wait, what?
Y'all think it's a way off here?
Off this rock?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it, people like thousands of years knew how to astral plane. They were describing things that were out in space before we even discovered how to fly. So I mean, yeah, there's definitely a way off this rock.
Listen, think about it. Think about it. Outer space.
No, there's no outer space.
Break it. It is. But just not in the way that we
water bubbles above us.
It's not the way that we think about it. Break the word down. Out our space.
I'm about to go out my space when I go to work.
So you see all the people that talk about like the firmament and we're in a dome. That's our space. I believe there's a way to get out of this dome and into another dome.
The ocean.
I think it's through the ocean or Antarctica.
Yeah. Separating the waters above from the waters below.
Because before NASA was
below is how you get to the other land.
Before NASA was a space expedition, they explored the ocean.
Yeah. And then
they
know what's down there, but they're trying to divert attention to the moon and all the other planets and stuff while they're still doing what they're doing.
To divert. Yeah.
I feel like that's what's really happening with NASA. I mean, NASA, their logo is a serpent.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many people that got into that Nintendo controlled?
Oh yeah, the submarine sacrifice.
Oh, the submarine. Oh man, don't even tell me about it.
With the PlayStation controller.
Yeah, that's exactly what
yeah.
Who the hell? Like, come on, what this? Hey, go left. Oh!
So you mean to tell me
it's not funny, but it's funny.
It's funny. Because you mean to tell me I paid millions of dollars to get put in this submarine that I can't get out of without y'all cutting this back open. And our only way of steering this is a PlayStation controller?
I think it was an Xbox controller, bro. Put some respect on the name. PlayStation wouldn't support that.
Like,
wow.
How idiotic was that? And then one, they said, that wasn't the first expedition. They had been doing this for a while.
Oh, yeah.
So how all of a sudden everything go wrong on this expedition?
What?
Right, exactly. That may have been the real first attempt.
They sacrificed them people. Them people knew what either that or, honestly, them people ain't real.
Possibly. I mean, did you
hear
it
was a distraction.
The plane shot the space shuttle that went up, what was it, Columbia, the one that exploded?
Oh, yeah.
Just one.
And
they had more than one explode.
Yeah. They had two explode. And then they
I think it
had
was the
one of the
first one.
SpaceX ones explode.
I think it was the very first one where and then yet the crazy thing is people who looked exactly like them with the same names
Are
end up
still being spotted.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've been seeing
That's
those
a
too.
coincidence. I'm like, and then there's one of them even made a group. He started a company to where it's a rocket with it's like
Yep,
with the fun. You seen that? I was just
I
like,
seen that, bro.
I was like, come on, everything's hiding in plain sight. But
Right.
I don't know. I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Nah, me too. You
But
seen them hunt down
things you can
Neil
see what
Armstrong with the
wrong.
Bible in their hand?
The what?
No, it was Buzz. They
That's
Was
like,
all
Buzz
was Aldrin?
Aldrin was at a conference, and a
Yep.
dude came up with a Bible, and he was like, "Hey, put your hand on the Bible and say you went to the moon." He would not do it.
Yeah. You heard him like before in the passing, they were like, what they said, what was the biggest lie? He was like that we went to the moon.
Went to the moon.
No, he said that we went outer space.
Space.
Yeah. I was just like,
Yeah.
well, damn. I mean,
He said it on the show one time. He was like, but we didn't go.
Mhm. I mean, of course, everybody looks over that, but it's crazy.
Yeah. They tell you all the time. People just think you they being funny, but nah, they really telling you it's when you go.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of things can get covered up if it seems like it's a joke.
Like a lot of people don't know that it's satellites in our atmosphere, and that's why you don't see them on the pictures.
Yeah.
And there's no actual picture ever been taken by a satellite of what Earth really looks like.
It's all 3D images.
AI. It's all AI images. All of it.
Yeah. I think
None of it was ever taken by a satellite.
the thing that gets me the most is how they end up saying that the Earth's atmosphere and where the different spheres are, the ionosphere, stratosphere, and all that. And I'm like, okay, so you're saying that these are a couple hundred miles up above us. I was like, and then if you go and look where they have the satellites, I'm like, wait a minute, that's still within our atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, you're saying that this sphere is this many miles up, but you're saying that this satellite is sitting at this many. I'm like, hold up, that's
yeah.
Believe that they're further along than what they actually are.
Yeah. I mean, even when you think about it, I'm like, in the past, the technology was greater than the technology we have now.
Right.
So it's like people were saying that we're such a long race. I'm like, dude, we're moving in reverse. We're moving in reverse, accomplishing the same things that they accomplished with more defects and consequences. I'm like, back then they had electric scooters. I was looking at a car to where the wheels can turn a full 180 to where you can literally just do a 360 in the middle of the road. Or either you can sit there and be parallel parked, turn the wheel like that, end up turning a 90-degree angle, straighten the wheels out, drive straight out, and then turn it again, and now you're boom, just keep on going. They did away with that. Back in the day, they had a third tire that would end up coming out.
That comes out the back and turns you into parallel park.
I was like, but you got all these people in plastic cars that are just killing themselves, trying to figure out how to parallel park. And still can't.
Still can't parallel park.
Moving in reverse. I'm like, we have people who are creating hydrogen cars getting whacked off. We have people who are taking I just saw a video of a dude who made it takes trash and turns it into gasoline.
To gas. I just seen that. Yeah. He turns it into gas and diesel. He needs to be protected. He needs to be protected because one, he already put a patent out on it because they own his head. Because in one of his videos, he say, I am of good mental health and good physical health.
I hope he's there. There's another melanated lady. She actually found out how to cure cancer with frequency.
Yeah, and they won't.
That's a lot. They've been studying that for a minute though.
Yeah, but nobody wants to fund her.
Yeah, they've been. Even the white people knew. I seen a video of a white lady that said frequencies can kill diseases.
Yeah, but I bet you if she was the one who did it, they probably would support it. I mean, you think
they supported it.
A lot of things that we have were originally created by melanated individuals, but then for some reason it becomes a white person who takes the ownership of it.
Black, white, Hispanic, whatever the fuck, Asian, Japanese, whatever you want to call them, if it's something that they cannot continuously profit off of, they will not market you.
I think the only thing that they let go out into the public that they cannot continuously market off of was a shop vac.
Yeah.
Those things are They are the best. I'm gonna have to get them to sponsor me. True talk, no lie. I mean, those things suck up water. Things got a sucking power that can literally suck nails out of a carpet.
Yeah,
And they don't break. You don't need a bag for
they
them.
don't at all.
Like, that's why I think that's the reason why ShopBack dang near went out of business. It's like, yo, nothing on it breaks. Like, there's no
Breaks.
reason.
Like
So I mean,
the only way that junk breaks is if it falls from somewhere.
exactly. Like you had to have like a ghost of a bitter bitch to come through and fuck that thing up.
For it. And I mean, they had to have picked that shop back up, threw it to the ground, kicked it somewhere, threw it up against a
Threw it off the
wall.
highway and let it get ran over by a semi truck. And even then,
For
all
real.
you probably need is a new air filter.
Yep.
What's up?
Yep.
Exactly.
The air filter just got crushed.
I know, right? It's like, dang, bro. I was gonna watch this when I got home.
Yep. You might need a new hose or something because the hose got trampled. But other than that, it's good. You can still
But
flip
even
the
with a
switch
crack
and
in it,
get it cut
the
on.
power won't be as strong, but it still can get the job done. Facts on facts.
Yeah,
Hey,
they got
I
you.
enjoyed this. I enjoyed talking. We covered a lot of different things and end up coming back to the being tested by the universe.
Yeah.
And with it, it also made me think. I kind of wanted to. It made me want to cover a topic one day about the revenge of the ancestors.
Mm.
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 Yeah, everybody's like,
I feel some of the ancestors got their revenge while they was here.
So yeah, we can
Best
talk
believe
about
some
that
of them
on a
got they
later
get
date.
that.
Talk about that on a later.
Yeah.
Let me stop the recording on this. Boom.
Hey, that was another episode of Divine Time with Don Lee. I appreciate you stopping by. Hey, if you enjoyed what you heard, please hit me with a like, follow. All I do is ask to share. If you have a story that you want to share, you have a voice that you feel can impact others or possibly even shine light to their day, go ahead and hit me up in my email. It's donley@divinetime.blog. I say again, that's donley@divinetime.blog. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for listening.